Hello, viewers. My name is Jonathan De Silva, and I am here to talk about justice with my dad, Io De Silva. Say hello.
Hello.
Yeah, so I have a series of questions on my phone, and I am going to ask him other questions about things. How's that? Yeah, I have a series of questions on my phone, and I'm going to ask him about what justice is and variations of what justice is. Okay, first question. What does justice mean to you?
Justice to me means it's doing the right thing. You know, doing what is right.
All right. That's a good answer. Can you give us an example on your perspective of justice? On your example, on your perspective of justice. Can you give us an example?
Example of justice. Example for me would be someone who, do something wrong, that is against the law, and that person, I believe, should be punished or according to the law.
All right. What person in the world today is a great example of justice?
The Pope.
The Pope?
Yeah.
Why is the Pope a great example of justice?
I think the Pope is a great example of justice because he's guided by, fundamental things that meets the requirements of how God wants us to go. And then the Pope exactly will follow laws of the country. So, yeah, I think the Pope for me.
I guess the Pope is a good answer to that. So before you came into America, you used to live in a country called Nigeria, correct?
That's correct.
Tell us what it was like to be born and raised in a third world country like Nigeria.
Well, in a third world country, born and raised, I didn't know any better. I mean, it is now that I'm in the United States, I see that there's a lot of difference from first world country to a third world country. So in a third world country, everything is a struggle. Just the basic necessities is a struggle. It's a struggle. Water, food, and things like that. Things that are so basic is a struggle.
So when you were in Nigeria, what was the justice system like there when you were living in Nigeria?
Oh, the justice system in Nigeria, mind you, I mean, there is a system that's supposed to run normally, like a normal system. The problem in Nigeria is the system is not followed. So most of the time, the people who really, it could be right, but then because there's corruption, there's too much of people who will buy themselves out because they have so much money. So the justice system in Nigeria doesn't really work. I don't care how people want to look at it, it just doesn't work because there's always people who have money more than you do to buy themselves out of that system. And in other words, they don't get punished for whatever it is that they do that's wrong, either against the country or against anyone.
Do you believe that the justice system was fair back then when you were there?
In Nigeria?
Mm-hmm.
No. That brings me back to the last question. It's not in any way fair because the only thing that's fair is if you have money. If you don't, you're definitely going to suffer even if you're in the right. So the justice is never fair in a third world country, especially Nigeria.
I see. Okay, so after you were living in Nigeria for your life, when you finally came to America to permanently to start to live a new life here, did you notice anything about the justice system here?
Oh, of course, almost immediately because, I mean, I remember when I just came, I used to see things on TV, and when people do something wrong or they commit any type of crime, the system is in place. They get, people are arrested, they have to do the normal protocol or normal thing that needs to be done, taking them to the justice system, and accordingly, whatever it is that they've done. This is a huge difference from where I come from. Here, every process still happens, so yes, almost immediately.
So what do you think the difference in the justice system was between America and Nigeria?
Well, I mean, there's a huge difference. In Nigeria, it's all about who has the most money. Here, everybody go through the same process in the justice system. Based on, depending on what it is that you did or didn't do, according to the law that's been written, you have to go through that process and face the consequence. Unlike Nigeria, you may never face any consequence as long as you have money. So that's a whole huge difference. Just going back to the last question, that's about the same thing.
Pretty decent answers we got here. What is your own personal definition of rights?
Well, my own personal definition of rights, I'm a Christian, so everything I have to do with everything that the Bible talks about being rights. Now, in a country where it's governed by some people, there's also rules and laws that you have to follow to the best of your ability. So sometimes they collide, sometimes you don't like it, but to the best of my ability, I will find to follow it. But that's my own personal definition of rights. Things that the Lord allowed me to do and find a way to balance it.
Do you believe that rights can be taken away in forms of justice?
Yeah, I believe so. That's what I said earlier, because of my belief to contradict what the justice system is. So I believe so.
Alright, do you believe that justice is the best way to get closer to God and make it to heaven?
Do I believe that justice is the best way to get closer to God and make it to heaven? Yeah, I mean, because the Bible does say that you should listen and follow what the systems do or does sometimes, as long as it's not against your belief. Yes, I think so. I think most of the time in a country that we believe in God, most of the time, justice seems to align with our belief, except for certain other things that, as you know, in this world, in this country now, some things are changed.
Changed how so?
In a public school now, you can talk about God, which is bizarre, unfortunate, but that's not the way our country was, created. It's created based on the foundation of God. But now, kids find it difficult to know who God is, which is justice, as far as I'm concerned. But that's me. If you ask other people who doesn't believe in God, then they think it's the right thing. It's unfortunate.
It is true. Alright, so what are some ways us people can show forms of justice in our community?
Show justice in our community?
Mm-hmm. Forms of justice.
Some ways. I have no idea.
What do you mean?
Yeah, well, I think to look out for each other. When you see something, say something. Call the police. There's been some robbery and around the communities sometimes, And when you see something, you got to call the police to make sure that those people don't get to do it to other people. I think we just have to look out for each other and do the right thing, protect each other. And when you can't, be able to call the authorities to do those things for us. That's the way I think we can, help each other in the community.
So do you believe there's a wrong type of justice in the world?
The wrong type of justice. The wrong type of justice, I would say, is the one that I really don't care for, like the Sharia law in some countries, where if you steal something, they cut off your hand. I don't think that's proper. I mean, of course, granted, somebody stole something is a wrong thing to do, but to have to cut their hands off because of that I believe it's pathetic. That's my view.
So that's your wrong type of justice?
Yes, that's it. That's the one I really don't care for. And women getting, in some countries too, women who, for example, commit adultery get stoned to death when the male or the husband counterpart, the husband doesn't get any punishment. That's bizarre.
Bad forms of justice.
Yeah. So those are the one I don't care for. I think it should be for everybody.
Yep. Okay. Do you think knowing and understanding justice and performing forms of justice makes you become a better person?
I believe so. Yes, I do think so. It makes me a better person to know what to do, what is allowed, what's not to do, with all these provisions.
Why do you think knowing and understanding justice makes you a better person?
I think it makes me feel a lot safer, because if I know somebody did something to me, there's a system in place to that person to get consequences. Unlike where I came from, it doesn't matter. So it makes me feel safe. It makes me feel that, I can live as a normal person, and that's what I feel.
Okay, last question. Do you think if everyone in the world believed in the right type of justice, would we have world peace in some way or not?
I think we'll have world peace in some way, yes. I think if we have the right type of justice, then it will make the bad guy think about it, before doing it, instead of thinking that, my parents or whoever has money to bail me out, and not go through the consequences. So I believe so. I believe at least it will. If everybody had that same type of justice, I think there will be more peace.
All right, that is it for this interview. Thank you for answering my questions.
Of course.
We will see you people later, and all the viewers. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed.